Yeah. People of God, lovers of freedom, you're highly welcome once again to our channel. This is Nelly's TV, as you know, and here we give you news, the truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, before I proceed, I would like to use this opportunity to thank you all, our viewers, our very esteemed viewers, and those of you who engage with us very closely, our subscribers, and those who contribute one or two things to our channel, those who like our videos, and those who send in their comments, more especially reasonable comments. I'm not talking about those who come here to just say, whatever they like to say. That's entirely their business. But for those of you who make very interesting and intelligent comments, I commend you. I thank you all for your support. It's because of you that we are still going on, and we will continue to move on as a result of your support. Thank you very much. But I also want to encourage those of us who have not subscribed to this channel to please do so. Please do so. Subscribe. Let's hit the 1,000 subscriber target, which we are aiming at, so that we have more and more features that will make our stay with you more interactive and pleasant. Okay, so please subscribe, and also encourage your friends and family and well wishers to also subscribe so that we increase in number. Thank you very much. So today we are going to be looking at two personalities who have constituted themselves as the enemies of freedom, the enemies of Biafra, the enemies of Christians living in Nigeria. And these two individuals are Reno Omokri and David Hundeyin. Reno Omokri and David Hundeyin, these two persons have constituted themselves into enemies of freedom and people who seek freedom, enemies of Christians living in Nigeria, and enemies of Biafrans. So if you are a Biafran, these people they don't like you. These two individuals don't like you. They don't want your freedom. They are fighting tooth and nail to see that you are not free. And I'm going to show you their activities of recent and also compare it with what they were doing in the past, because they are also not straightforward. They don't say the truth. They are hypocrites. They are double-edged. Okay, they play double standard. They don't say the truth. These people are very typical blatant liars. And I am not, I am not against them. We don't promote violence here. We don't lie. We tell the truth. And I'm going to show you evidence to prove that these two individuals, they have no truth in their mouth. They lie blatantly. And so, what am I trying to do here? For you to be aware of these people, because some people have been following them because of the kind of facade they put up. They come up on social media pretentiously, trying to pretend to be good, trying to pretend to be fighting for justice, fighting for the ordinary people, saying the truth. But these people are not what they present themselves to be. So they are facades. They are cunning. Behind, they really show their true color. And if you don't follow them very well, you will think that what they are presenting to you is what they are. So they have been exposed recently for you to know that they are not the right people to follow. So stop following these people on their social media handles. They are not what they present themselves to be. So you know that recently Nigeria has been on a very hot seat. They have been in a very hot boiling soup because of the activities of Senator Ted Cruz of the United States, who moved a motion, who proposed a bill to sanction Nigeria, all right, to place Nigeria among the countries of particular concern. So since the move of Ted Cruz, Nigeria has been running helter-skelter because most of Nigerian politicians are they are not clean. Okay, they are criminals. They have very criminal records here and there all over the world. They loot public property and stash them abroad in the United States, in the United Kingdom, and so on and so forth. So they know that if this bill is enacted, all their property abroad will be seized. All their money, the money they have stashed in foreign banks, will be frozen. So that is why they are running up and down looking for how to remedy their image, in order to prevent the United States Senate from passing that bill into law. Okay, so that is what is going on. So when you see people posting all sorts of things on social media countering the move of Ted Cruz, it is to protect these criminal politicians of Nigeria and their property, which they have looted from public treasury. So Reno mockery is one of those they use to sell out this propaganda, because the truth remains that there is genocide against Christians in Nigeria. There is genocide against Christians perpetrated by Islamist terrorists. It is on record. All right. Inter-Society has, on several occasions, published the report of what is going on in Nigeria. And according to Inter-Society, 89% of all the buyings of Christians all over the world is done in Nigeria. 89% of them. 89% of the buying are done in Nigeria alone. All right. And they have their statistics. They are not saying this just based on hearsay. So it is written, it's documented, and everybody knows about it, but they keep trying to deny it. Okay, so after some US lawmakers compiled their report, more especially based on the testimony that the Biafra Republic government in exile submitted to the US Congress, they compiled their report and decided to make this move. Remember that some months ago, the Biafra Republic government in exile, ably led in acting capacity by Mazi Ogechukwu Nkere, submitted, together with her lobbyists, submitted a testimony of how the systematic jihad of the Islamist terrorists in Nigeria is, displacing indigenous people, mostly Christian communities in Nigeria, and occupying them, and Nigerian security agents help them, displace these indigenous persons and settle them there. There are video evidences to this act. They are there. All right. All of us know how T.Y. Danjuma said in a public presentation that the military collude with these armed criminals to displace people from their communities. And these communities they displace are mostly Christian communities. The records are there. So, because of that, they hired Reno Mockery and the likes of him to start posting on social media that there is no genocide against Christians in Nigeria, which is just like a medicine after death already, because everybody who has been following the story of Nigeria knows that Nigerian Christians are the most endangered species in the whole world. The Nigerian Christians are in a very big danger, very grave danger. And anything that happens to you is entirely your business. The government is not concerned. Government will not Government has never prosecuted any of these Islamist jihadist terrorists that attack Christians in Nigeria. So Reno came up and began to twist the narrative this time around, against what even he himself had fought against previously. Because before now, Reno had also said the truth that there is a systematic buying of Christians in Nigeria. And I am going to show you all these things. So, Reno recently with Nuhu Ribadu, remember Nuhu Ribadu was once the chairman of EFCC of Nigeria. EFCC means Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Reno and Nuhu Ribadu went and invited a man called Mike Arnold from the United States. He's a United States citizen. They invited him. This man has been very, very regular to Nigeria, covering the activities of these Islamist jihadists and how they displace people and how the people they displace are just packaged and thrown to internally displaced camps and forgotten there by various governments of Nigeria. And he has compiled a very big documentary, very large documentary, which he said he's going to publish. So Reno and Ribadu mistakenly went and invited this man, thinking they would influence him to come and claim that there is no genocide against Christians in Nigeria. But this man is a Christian, and not only that, he has conscience, because there are some Christians out there like those we saw in CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria, who talk rubbish, okay, who came out to claim that the attack is just sporadic. I pity those people, because they are lying in the face of people's agony, the loss of lives that many families have experienced in Nigeria. CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria, could not say the truth to defend the helpless. And that is a huge disappointment to Nigerian Christians. And they are there, and these are church leaders. So they don't have conscience. So Mike Arnold is not like them. Mike Arnold has conscience. And so with all his experiences in Nigeria and all the coverages he has made in all the attacked areas of Nigeria, he came with his conscience, spirit-filled conscience. He came to Nigeria. So Reno and Nuhu Ribadu sat down expecting him to come and lie that there is no attack on Christians in Nigeria, but they were highly disappointed because he came there and spilled the milk. He said the truth, and the team put Reno and his cohorts in a very big shame and disturbance, trouble. I am going to read part of his report here, which I took from his statement. So let's go up a bit and see what we have here. Up there we have, what the man said. He said, formal statement on widespread violence and displacement in Nigeria. It was presented on 14th October 2025, and so the name of the man is Mayor Mike Arnold. He's a former mayor in Texas. And it was presented at Abuja at Hilton, Transcorp Hilton Hotel. Okay. So I will be taking it. I will just be jumping. Okay, he said, I was personally invited here today by National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu and influencer Reno Omokri. So Nuhu Ribadu is the current National Security Advisor to Tinubu, okay? And then Reno Omokri, they ganged up and tried to use this man to launder the dirty image of Nigeria. But they were disappointed, highly disappointed, because the man came and said the truth. Okay, he also said that okay, I will be picking it little by little. I don't really want to read everything. Okay, he says, this statement is my formal account and analysis of facts, findings, and first-hand documentation of claims of widespread violence, displacement, and atrocity crimes in Nigeria, primarily directed against Christian populations in the North and Middle Belt, and whether this rises to the level of genocide. He wants to prove this point. And he says that we have traveled to cities, villages, and remote encampments from Bokkos, Jos, and Woza to Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Bukuma, and Makoko. I have interviewed governors, cabinet members, traditional rulers, two former presidents, and others. So he has first-hand information. And according to him, he has met orphans whose parents were hacked to death, built schools in internally, that is IDP camps, and has a documentation of over 80 hours of film testimony and evidence, at great personal risk. He took the risk to do this. And he said he'll be releasing this documentary entitled Me and Miss Hanatu. Okay, so he's not just talking, he knows what he's saying. He really went there and saw things for himself. And remember, according to him, they have built a school. I don't know where I will find it. He said they built a school for the IDP people, for the IDPs, and many of them are attending the school now, something that Nigeria government has never done, right? What they do is just to package these victims and take them to IDP and forget them there. I can't see it for now, but let me keep reading. Maybe I will see it somewhere down there. Okay, so in 2010, according to him, he said that Nigeria was a nation at peace, right? But what happened in 2014, he says, by 2014, Nigeria's stability was shattered. How was it shattered? Foreign meddling, including US involvement, played a pivotal role in 2015 election, enabling regime change that emboldened actors who ignored so these actors either ignored or enabled extremist violence. A high-placed eyewitness testimony confirms this interference, with firms like Cambridge Analytica further skewing the political landscape. All right. So what this man is telling us here is that US actually meddled in Nigeria's election of 2015, where they pushed Goodluck Jonathan out of office, and Jonathan actually eventually made a video where he granted an interview and said that Obama of the United States forced him out of office. All right, with all the evil plans they made with APC through Buhari and Tinubu. Okay, and they shoved him out of office. So that was how they brought about all these radical elements. So he says, radical jihadist elements fueled by foreign fighters from Libya and the Sahel post-2011 Arab Spring, not invaders, note this, not invaders, but invited. These criminals were actually invited deliberately by Nigerian politicians, more especially of the APC extraction. They were invited into Nigeria. So he said they flooded into Nigeria, amplifying Boko Haram and ISWAP. Today, over 4 million Nigerians are displaced, a very conservative estimate. He said it's very conservative, which means more than that, based in part on my work in hidden camps denied by officials. So officials are denying it. Denied by officials who labeled victims criminals. So they call those people in IDP criminals or vagrants, rendering United Nations and government figures entirely unreliable. So there is confusion everywhere. The people don't know what is the truth, but these people went direct to the people involved and interviewed them and got the truth. He says, the vast majority are Christians. Note it. The vast majority are Christians driven from their homes by deliberate political engineering and radical conquest, while mostly Muslim IDP encampments do exist. Okay. Now, they did a field work and many things in short. So, what did he come up with? He says that there is a consistent pattern of targeted destruction across regions and years. We've documented a shilling pattern. What are those patterns? Churches destroyed, mosques left untouched, Christian homes touched, that is burnt, jihadists resettled on captured land. Can you see it? So government is resettling jihadists in captured land. When they chase out people, they resettle these criminals there. Authorities deny or excuse attacks. Are you getting it? Why some Muslims resisting extremism are targeted. So when they tell you that Muslims are also acquired in Nigeria, these are people who resist extremism, people who are moderate. All right? So they get angry with them and also buy them. The overwhelming evidence, thousands of churches razed, that is burnt. Obviously, selective violence leads some to claim this is a faith-based genocide against Christians and those rejecting radical Islam. So those who are not extremists, they are targeting them as well. There are many things he said, but this is where he spilled the milk and Reno Omokri got mad at him, very mad at him. So this is the kind of people we want, people who say the truth. Mike Arnold really revealed a lot of things, and that disappointed Reno and his likes. So look at Mike Arnold, look at his Twitter handle. And what happened here? After his speech, Reno got very angry with him and began to exchange communications with him on chat. This is Reno's friend, actually. This Mike Arnold is a friend to Reno. So Reno told him, now I know without doubt that you do not recognize truth when you hear it. Nothing but pure and undefiled truth. Past my, okay. He kept writing. So that was Reno's regret. Reno was highly disappointed, and that is why Reno has not said anything about that meeting ever since they held it. If Mike Arnold had said what Reno wanted him to say, you would have seen Reno posting it here and there. Reno and his e-rats would have flooded the Twitter space and every social media space with all the things that the man said. All right. So the man says here, it's important that I state that I posted about Omokri only after I followed the biblical instruction to seek his repentance and restoration first. All right. He says, I do not have a vendetta or any anger against him. My heart breaks for him. I was called by God to Nigeria to speak the truth. And that's the exact instruction Omokri gave me when he invited me. Nothing more. Just come and speak the truth. That's all I have done. How could he be mad at me for doing what he asked me to do? you know, Reno thought that saying the truth would mean coming to, to join him, to join Reno to tell lies, to tell the whole world that, hey, no, there is nothing like Christian attack in Nigeria because they have been friends for long. They know themselves. But he disappointed Reno, and Reno was very angry with him. All right. It is very surprising how people just lie. Okay, look at this. This is a burial site for 73 victims of Fulani herdsmen massacred in Benue State, Guma and Logo, LGS. 73 persons. And all these people are Christians. And they wrote the date of attack, 1st and 2nd January 2018. Date of burial, 11 January 2018. It was Khan that did it. So how could Khan have been burying Muslims? It is because these people were all Christians. That was why Christian Association of Nigeria did the burial and mounted this signboard here in Benue State. And when we talk about this, they come out to deny it. Okay, now look at Reno. Reno's tweet some years ago. He said, "How to identify a hypocrite? Their voice is so loud, condemning injustice against Muslims." Did you get that? In USA. Yet, very silent in condemning genocide of Christians in Nigeria or their own country of origin. So Reno admitted here that there is genocide of Christians in Nigeria. That is Reno Mockery. Look at it. Look, this is his official Twitter handle. In 2017, he tweeted this, that there is genocide of Christians in Nigeria, but people who act as hypocrites don't accept it. They deny it. That was Reno. But what is Reno tweeting today? Reno is telling you today that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. So what is Reno? What type of human being is Reno? He's a hypocrite, like I told you earlier at the beginning of this video. Reno is running for his stomach, okay? And this man, in one of his tweets, he mentioned it, that Reno and Ribadu are, planning to contest. Nuhu Ribadu wants to contest for Nigeria's presidency, while Reno wants to be his running mate, that is the vice president of Nigeria, after Tinubu. So that's why they are doing everything to please Tinubu now, so that Tinubu, the usual system in Nigeria, somebody going out will just pave the way for the person he wants to take over from him. There is no election that goes on in Nigeria. It is selection. They steal votes. They rig elections. So they want Tinubu to rig the election for them, just as Buhari rigged the election for Tinubu. So Reno wants to be the vice president of Nigeria, while Nuhu Ribadu wants to be the president. That's why both of them are running up and down trying to please Nigeria, so that they will be chosen as the next people to take over Nigeria. So for you to understand why he does all these things, it's not because what is propagating now is true. No, he knows the truth, that Christians are being massacred in Nigeria. Reno knows. But his selfish ambition, political ambition, would not allow him to say the truth. Reno is a hypocrite. Okay, so he says here, Mike Arnold says, remember, these two persons are very long time friends. All right? Mike Arnold is a very good friend to Reno. Okay, he says, the truth about Reno Omokri is sad. I've seen it up close last year on his birthday safari in Kenya. He stayed at my home in Texas, but most recently, he hosted me in Abuja. Reno doesn't lie like most liars. He lies calm, cool, constant. Up close, he's reptilian, chilling, soulless, yet so charming. Once he posted a video flaunting luxury cars, claiming they were his. Two belonged to a friend of mine. So this man is telling you that those cars that Reno was flaunting were not his. Two of them belonged to his friend. Reno visited, rode in them, filmed them, and claimed ownership. A total fabrication. I stayed quiet then, but started watching closely. So he began to watch Reno closely when he began to see all these traits, all these how do I put it? All these flamboyant traits, all these traits of fake life. He began to watch Reno closely. That is like, this guy is not a good friend to keep. On my recent fact-finding tip about Nigeria's persecution crisis, he promised meetings with Tinubu, National Security Advisor Ribadu, and the Sultan of Sokoto. None happened. Looking back, those promises were props for his narrative, for clout and manipulation. So those are the things. I will continue reading. Now, let us go to this thing. Look at the video the man Mike Arnold was talking about when he went to Texas. All right, look at what Reno did here. Just check out.
All right, so you guys wanted to see how it is to be in the Lamborghini Murcielago. I'll show you my Lamborghini. Now, here's what's going to happen.
He said, I will show you my Lamborghini. But remember, this man said here that this vehicle belonged to his friend, not Reno's. It wasn't Reno's car.
To
See it.
hide the number plate so that you, obedience, cannot trace my house. All right, so just watch me.
That was Reno behaving like a child, okay? But indeed, he was lying. That car he flaunted there was not his car. So this is where he said that obedience mocked my cars as cheap cars. So I added the price tag for each for each car. This guy, as old as he is, he's still he's still, I mean, I don't know how to put it. He's still behaving like a small child. So some people tried to cut out what Mike Arnold published. He said, how do you know if Reno is lying? His lips are moving. This isn't bitterness, it's accountability. So he's giving account of what how Reno behaves. He says, when someone denies genocide, twists truth, and poses as a Christian voice, character matters. So he was talking about Reno. You know, Reno, you pose yourself as a Christian, yet you deny Christian genocide and you twist the truth about what is happening in your environment, then your accountability, I mean your character matters a lot. That was Reno. So people began to bring up things about Reno, how he has this thing lived his life in the past. Now look at this tweet again from the same Reno. This is his official Twitter handle again. He says, their voice is so loud condemning injustice against Muslims in USA, yet very silent in condemning genocide of Christians in Nigeria. Reno tweeted this thing again, this time around on 29 January 2017. That was Reno. Still agreeing here that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. But today, Reno is telling you that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. That is a hypocrite for you. So when I say that Reno is a hypocrite, I don't hate him. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay? Now look at, the man also said that Reno once lied against him during his birthday. I didn't want to read everything. Look at where Reno lied against him. So he says, at the reception for me by Austin City business leaders in Austin, Texas, earlier today, that was on 4th April 2024. In attendance were Brandon Simon, Regional Director for Senator Ted Cruz. Okay, he wasn't a Regional Director for Senator Ted Cruz. He was just making big names so as to let people know that he's dealing with very highly placed people. All right. This man, I think this is Arnold. This is Mike Arnold, the former mayor that wrote the oil spilling text statement. Then he said, Mike Arnold, yeah, mayor of the city of Blanco. Mike Arnold is not a current mayor, he's a former mayor. That was what Mike Arnold wrote on one of his tweets. That he said that he's a current mayor, that he's not a current mayor, that he was a mayor some time ago. And Blanco, Texas, David Vincent, CEO, Vitopia Care, Ruben Cantu, Executive Director of, and so on and so forth. So he was just calling big names to show people that he's dealing with very highly placed international people. So, as we can see, Reno Omokri lives a fake life. But that is not even the issue here. The main issue here is that Reno has constituted himself into an enemy of the people. He is an enemy of Christians in Nigeria. He is an enemy of Biafrans. And he is an enemy of the ordinary people in Nigeria. All his activities, he poses himself as a Christian, but all his activities are in support of Muslims, and he poses himself as a human rights activist, saying the truth, but all his activities are in support of the wicked politicians in Nigeria who trample on the ordinary people. And of course, he also a politician. He's a political jobber. For now that he has not occupied any office, he's a political jobber to those who occupy offices, political offices. But he's angling for the vice president of Nigeria. And that is why he and Ribado are doing everything possible to paint Nigeria white, when indeed it has a very dark black color. Okay, let's proceed in our expositions. Look at this man you see here. The man that has this handle, he calls himself Daddy D.O. Daddy D.O. Daddy D.O., whatever his name is, in 2022, he tweeted, "Churches are being set on fire. A state of emergency is the way forward. Governor Tambua, before things deteriorate." He wanted to say before things deteriorate. Now, Governor Tambua was the governor of Sokoto State, and Sokoto State was, experiencing a lot of uproar from the Islamist extremists, terrorists who were going about burning churches, annihilating people, buying people unnecessarily. Remember that it was also in Sokoto that this girl Deborah was spied by Islamist um, jihadists. So this guy came up to say that things are getting out of hand, and he tweeted this. But today, if you go to this man's handle, you will be surprised what he's tweeting today. Look at his handle. He says he's Abike's husband, maybe Abike Dabiri or special or something. He says he's special assistant to president. So President Tinubu on social media and national convener, whatever. So you see, he's now occupying a political position here. You can see my mouse. He's now occupying a political position, and his confession has changed. Let's see if we can see some of his recent tweets. Okay, yeah, see Abike Dabiri. So he's Abike Dabiri's husband. Abike Dabiri is the chairman of diaspora, Nigeria in diaspora, and he is a special assistant to president on social media. That's what they do. Once they occupy a political position, they begin to lie through their teeth. They begin to speak through both sides of their mouth. All right. I didn't even know that he's Abike's husband. I didn't even know that he's a special assistant to Bola Tinubu on media, whatever. Okay. So let's see. I'm just trying to see if we can see one of his posts, because recently, okay. Look at, as usual, Cancun Ted is still proving even to his country people that he is a fake news merchant. So he's attacking Ted Cruz. Look at him. And who is Ted Cruz? Ted Cruz is the man that is championing the call for Nigeria to be designated as a country of particular concern. This man hates Ted Cruz, like he hates Ted Cruz so much, because now he is one of those feeding from the table of Nigerian politics. He's a political jobber. All right. So this is what we see in Nigeria. People who base their standpoint on the position they occupy at any point in time. If they occupy a political position or the position of a political jobber, they begin to sing praises for Nigeria. But when they leave that office, they begin to say the truth. All right. People who live their lives like that can never be trusted. They can never be trusted. I'm just trying to see if I can see where he posted recently concerning, against the okay, I'm going to bring this video very soon. Because, okay, he also shared this video. Look at it. He also shared this video, which I'm going to bring very soon. This man you see here is a big time liar. He's a liar paid by Tinubu to come and talk nonsense in Nigeria concerning this same issue of Nigeria being designated. So look at the interview proper. Okay. So he wrote, "We know Boko Haram are acquiring more Muslims than Christians. US envoy acknowledges." They call this man a US envoy. He's not an envoy, anything. He is not a US envoy. Envoy has to do with the embassy of a country in another country. All right. This man has nothing to do with the embassy. He's just an advisor to the government of President Trump of the United States on Arab and Africa matters. So he is an Arabic man. According to people who know him, he's a Lebanese. We will talk about him later, not now. Okay, so look at what the man is posting. Okay, yeah, he reposted this one where Udele and Co went to protest against Nnamdi Kanu. So these are the kind of tweets you see this man tweeting these days. But this was the same man who said that churches are being burnt in Sokoto. So he acknowledged that there is a calculated attack against Christians in Nigeria some years ago, but today he has changed his confession because he's now a political jobber. Okay, let us proceed in our exposition. This is where Mike Arnold decided to spill the milk about David Hundeyin. David Hundeyin poses himself as an investigative journalist and somebody who says the truth, but David Hundeyin is an enemy of the people. He's an enemy of the ordinary people. He's an enemy of Christians. He's an enemy of Biafrans. He hates Biafrans like anything. He hates Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with every passion in his heart. He hates Mazi Simon Ekpa so badly, you know. Now, David Hundeyin says that he's running away from Nigeria because he said the truth and Nigerian government is trying to, be high-handed on him. So he condemns the high-handedness of Nigerian government on himself, but when it affects another person, David Hundeyin doesn't see anything wrong with that. Okay, he wants Nigeria to continue to persecute Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has done nothing, but he doesn't want Nigerian government to persecute him for saying the truth. He said the truth in his own way. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said his own truth in his own way. But he wants Nigeria to persecute Mazi Nnamdi Kanu simply because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man and he's asking for Biafra to separate from Nigeria. Hundeyin was the one who said that he knows that we hate ourselves in Nigeria, but that we should stay together. So what kind of insane statement is that? And this is somebody who claims to be educated. He claims to be a journalist. He claims to be standing for fundamental human rights of the people. And he's telling you that he knows that people hate themselves, but they should continue to live together. So this is one of the most insane statements anybody could make. You understand? David Hundeyin made a very insane statement. People don't love themselves, but they should continue to live together. So how can there be peace in such an enclave? That was David Hundeyin for you, because he doesn't want Nigeria to break. So why are you so passionate about keeping Igbos in Nigeria when indeed you don't like them? I mean, that is the position of a confused person, somebody who doesn't know his problem. You don't like Igbos, yet you don't want them to leave your Nigeria for you. Then you are really a confused human being. You don't know what your problem is. That is David Hundeyin for you. Okay, so see what Mike Arnold wrote here. He said, warning, this so-called investigative journalist, David Hundeyin, is a fraud, as much an uncountable, self-serving liar as Omokri, that is Reno Omokri. They are the same thing. only not as good at it. That is, he's not very much as good at self-serving lies as Omokri. He's never met me nor investigated me, but proclaimed. So David Hundeyin proclaimed that, not even by speculation, but declaring it as if it is a fact, that I am with the CIA. That he said that Mike Arnold is a CIA agent. He doesn't know him. Oh. That is Hundeyin for you. Sitting down in his house and knowing that Mike Arnold is a CIA agent. It will take only minutes of investigation to learn otherwise. That is, to know that he is not a CIA agent. But David Hundeyin couldn't do that. He just sat down and concocted his report or his statement that Mike Arnold is an agent of CIA. He said, I have spent 15 years serving sacrificially in Nigeria. The Bible says to judge a tree by its fruits. There are countless Nigerians who can testify to my fruits over this decade and a half. Some, by God's grace, who are alive today because of my work. Wouldn't take much investigation to uncover. I encouraged him, that is, he encouraged Hundeyin to do the investigation himself. And he blocked me, that is, he blocked Mike Arnold instead of taking the advice. That is a typical Nigerian for you. You know, David Hundeyin is a political jobber who poses himself as an investigative journalist who is fighting for fundamental human rights. Which right is he fighting for? When indeed, in his mind, he feels like just snap his finger and the entire Igbo race is consumed, is annihilated. That is how he feels within his heart. And yet, he is fighting for fundamental human rights of who? He is a selfish individual and a fraudster. Okay, what he presents himself to be is not what he really is. So see where he blocked Mike Arnold. He blocked Mike Arnold here. That is how he behaves. Look at his face. See him. You advise him, he blocks you. You know. Let's proceed. So now let's look at this David Hundeyin again. Who is he? What type of person is he? We are going to see some of his tweets. Look at his tweets, 5th June 2022, 28th May 2023. What did he say in 2022? He said, I've just woken up and my stomach has fallen through the floor. This is the 2022 equivalent of the Christmas Day bombing of St. Teresa Catholic Church in Madala in Abuja. They always bomb Catholic churches wherever they become active in Nigeria. It's a statement of commencement. That was Hundeyin writing that they are attacking churches, that they are attacking churches. Something happened in this 2022, this day. A church was attacked. All right. So Hundeyin condemned it. So Hundeyin accepted that people, some group of Islamist terrorists were going about attacking churches, which in other words means attacking Christians. He accepted it. Look at what he also wrote in 2023. He said, Nigeria is the deadliest country in the world to be Christian. That was Hundeyin, David Hundeyin. Look at it. This is his official handle, the X handle. Nigeria is the deadliest country in the world to be Christian, but the pastorpreneurs, he called pastors, pastorpreneurs, never have anything to say about the ongoing genocide against Christians in the Middle Belt. David Hundeyin accepted that there is a genocide, ongoing genocide against Christians in the Middle Belt. And he said, now atheists like me, they carry them for head like firewood. But when it's time to, he said many things. So now the question is, David Hundeyin, what changed between this time and today? Today we are even seeing more attacks on Christians, churches, and Christian-dominated communities, and you are coming out to say otherwise. Somebody who came to Nigeria to say the truth about the ongoing genocide which you agreed to some years ago. After making his presentation, you went after him that he's a CIA agent. You see how these people are unstable. So if you are following somebody like David Hundeyin, you are a Biafran, you are an Igbo man, an Igbo person, following David Hundeyin, you are deluded. He is deceiving you. He is a fraud. He is a hypocrite. He hates Igbos. He hates Christians in Nigeria. He hates the ordinary people. He only loves himself. He only wants Nigeria to stop pursuing him, but Nigeria can pursue any other person who dares to say the truth, and it doesn't concern David Hundeyin. So, for those of you who think that David Hundeyin is a role model to follow, he is not. He is not at all. Okay. All right. Um, let's go to this person. Okay, so this is the same man that the DO who actually said that there is an attack against the churches. All right, but that is not the person I'm going to show here. I want to show you what he posted. See, we know Boko Haram are buying more Muslims than Christians. U.S. envoy acknowledges. Number one, like I told you, he lied here. This is not a U.S. envoy. He's an advisor to President Trump on Arab and African matters. Let's hear what they paid this man to say. You see this man, they paid him to come and say this. And who is interviewing him is NTA. NTA is interviewing him. That's the only thing NTA could do within this period. They just cornered him one side and told him what to say, and he said it. And then it looks like it makes any
There's a
meaning. Let's
narrative
listen
coming
to
from
him.
the US at the moment.
Let's listen to
There's a
him.
narrative coming.
Okay. All right. So, okay, pay attention.
There's a narrative coming from the US at the moment, disturbing to some people in Nigeria, and that's about religious persecution. That is not the position of the government, certainly. It's that of the Senator Cruz, I guess. And what is the position of US governments regarding this?
This is certainly unfortunate, of course. Any incident, any loss of life is absolutely unfortunate. Those who know the terrain well know that terrorism has no color and no religion and no tribe. People of all religions and all tribes are dying, and put more resources in those of these incidents. But we definitely, it's not something that we can say is specifically targeted about a specific group. However, we must work together to put an end to this. The Nigerian government and the President Tinubu's administration have recently taken additional measures and put more resources in those.
Can you hear him? That the government of President Tinubu has taken additional measures. Which measures are those? Which measures has the administration taken and nobody knows about it? If there are measures put on ground, why are we not seeing them? Huh?
Boko Haram and ISIS are killing more Muslims than Christians.
Okay, let me
so
go back
all tribes
a
are
bit.
terrorism has no color and no religion and no tribe. People of all religions and all tribes are dying as a result of terrorist acts. But it's very unfortunate. We even know that Boko Haram and ISIS are killing more Muslims than Christians.
Did you hear that?
Are dying as a result of terrorist acts. But it's very unfortunate. We even know that Boko Haram and ISIS are killing more Muslims than Christians. So people are suffering.
So this man is a blatant liar. They just paid him to come and say this. And he's telling you that the government of Tinubu is doing taking extra measures to put things in place to stop the crisis. What measure is that? Has it stopped? Has the attack, has the terrorism stopped? Of course not. Things are still going awry. Very, very badly. And this man is here blabbing this nonsense. Let me show you this man again. Let me show you. This is the same man. See him here. Okay. when Tinubu took him to France and introduced him as a top investor in Nigeria. All right. This man is a Lebanese. He's a Lebanese American, who was appointed by the government of President Trump to serve as his advisor on Arab and African matters. This is the kind of job he's doing here. So when he goes back to the United States, he will tell Trump that Boko Haram and ISIS are buying more Muslims than Christians, right? But you go to the internet, evidence abound. The internet is awash with evidence of, massacre of Christian-dominated communities all over Nigeria, everywhere in Nigeria. That's what is going on. And this man is saying otherwise. And this is the reason Ted Cruz has decided to propose the bill to sanction Nigeria, to place Nigeria among the countries of particular concern, because all these things are happening and nothing much is being done by the government to curb it. Look at him. Look at him.
Fine, good to see you. Good to see you as well. So you last saw in Paris, yes.
And look at where he's snapping picture with Tinubu. Okay. And then he sat down to discuss with Tinubu. And Tinubu presented him as a top investor to his French allies. So, and now the same person is coming to Nigeria to grant interview to NTA as to what is happening in Nigeria. How much does he know? This man just said this thing without any basis, no evidence, no statistics. No, he's not quoting anywhere. He's not showing you any figure. He's just talking, blabbing whatever he likes from his mouth. Okay, but go to the evidence produced by people like Mike Arnold. He gave figures, he gave statistics, dates, venues, places, how many people involved. All right, the city, the town, or the village, the community where things happened. This man, what did he say here? He gave no statistics at all. He only came here to say what they told him to say. And these are the problems we have. These are enemies of the people who are only singing praises for the wicked politicians in position to continue to perpetrate their evil against the ordinary people. By so doing, Nigeria will not solve or care to even solve this problem of terrorism in the country. When you continue to sing praises for them without telling them the hard truth, tell them the truth, tell them that things are not going on well, and tell them to go and fix it. Because people are losing their lives in Nigeria on a daily basis. They are losing their lives in large numbers. I am not going to show us evidence here because there are several evidence. If I start showing us evidence, we won't even live here today. We will not live here today. There are several evidence. All right. And I don't even know where to start. Okay. I don't know where to start showing us evidence of the mass murder and massacre of innocent people in Nigeria, which these people are trying to turn upside down. Okay, let me just, before I draw the curtain on this video, let me just show us one evidence. One evidence. I just hope it doesn't show. Okay, look at it. Now, what is going on here? This is a village where there was mass murder of people, innocent people. Okay, and here the burial of the people.
Came out openly and denied. There's no massacre.
Okay, this is the burial of the people, the victims of the terrorist attack and this is the pastor conducting the burial. These are people lying down here in a mass grave. And these are, so why will a pastor be burying, if these people were Muslims, why will it be a pastor that is burying them? Okay, a pastor is burying them because they are Christians. And this is what we are talking about, that there is a mass murder of Christians in Nigeria, and that is the truth. And these people are coming to twist the story upside down. Listen to this pastor and you will understand for yourself what is going on. And you will know that this man they showed here, they call him Mossad Bulos. Mossad Bulos is a liar. He just came there to act the script of Nigerian government, which they told him already before he came there. But listen to somebody that is on ground talking. The pastor, he is on ground. Bulos is not there. He didn't visit that place. So listen.
They are tired to be outside performing burial every day. And they expect us to silence. Now, it's an order. Nigerian government came out openly and denied there is no massacre, there is no genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And look.
Did you hear that? The pastor is lamenting that Nigerian government came out and denied that there is, they denied the massacre of the genocide of Christians. But look at what is happening here. So hear him out again. Hear him out again.
Nigerian government came out openly and denied there is no massacre, there is no genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And look at it today. Is there any Muslim here?
Ask them.
United Nations, I know you're watching me. American Senate, you are watching what I'm doing, I'm saying here. Special advisor to Trump. Now, please tell Trump to save our life in Nigeria. They are killing Christians in Nigeria, massacre Christians. If they say they kill Muslims, Muslims are being killed. By who?
Okay.
By Muslims.
Okay. So that is it, people. Evidence abound here and there. There are just too many. Okay, so we can't continue showing them. We will not live here today. So, but just to tell you that whoever is telling you that Christians are not being targeted in Nigeria is a liar. He is hiding the truth, and he's an enemy of Christians in Nigeria. He's an enemy of the ordinary people, because it is the ordinary people that are dying. All right. He's the enemy of Biafrans, because it is the same thing Biafrans are suffering. The Fulani herdsmen terrorists are everywhere in the forest of Biafra land. And you know, massacring people. When they go to farm, they target them there and massacre them, and then they turn around and turn the story upside down and tell you that it is IPOB, it is ESN, it is Biafra agitators that are doing all those things. That is what is going on in Biafra land. All right. So anybody who comes out to say that there is no genocide against Christians in Nigeria, that person should be held responsible. He's an evil person. He is an evil person. Okay? He should be arrested, because it means that he's one of those encouraging these terrorists to continue with their nefarious activities. United States should hastily designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. It is an urgency. It is an urgent thing that needs to be done. United States should designate Nigeria, sanction Nigeria very seriously, and sanction particularly these politicians who are in position and doing nothing about the plight of the ordinary people who are being massacred on a daily basis in Nigeria. It is evil and is condemnable, and it should stop now. Okay? So thank you very much. This is what we decided to bring to us. Number one, to let us know the enemies of Biafrans, who are, in this case, Reno Mokri and David Hundeyin, people who lie through their teeth, people who speak through both sides of their mouth, people who are unsteady in what they say. They say things based on who gives them money or position or advantage at any point in time, where they get their feeding bottle from. That's how they speak. So whoever is following these people should stop following them. They are fraud. They are fraudulent people. They are fake. They don't love you. They only love their stomach. That is what they are working for. All right. There is genocide against Christians in Nigeria, and that is the truth. Whoever says otherwise is a criminal. He is in support of the activities of the terrorists who are busy attacking Christians in Nigeria and should be arrested and dealt with properly. The United States should hastily designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern to save lives. All right. Thank you very much for being with us, and keep on coming back to check more updates, because we keep updating our audience with more news and information and analysis. Thank you very much, and do have a nice day. Bye for now.